Hi, I'm Nancy Clark.
And I'm Anne-Marie Wallace-Phillips.
We are the Hospice and Bereavement Coordinators with VO in Oxford, and this is Morning Chats with Anne-Marie and Nancy. So today we're going to wrap up our final episode in our Kids Grief and Mourning series and talk a little bit about death play as well as trauma reactions in children and when to seek further help. So death play. It is a very unique and interesting way in which children kind of integrate death into their lives and make sense of a death. So it can be anything from reenacting, so playing a doctor, recreating the funeral, it could be burying toys, talking to dolls, etc. Yeah, all of those different ways in which they're processing this death and doing as children do and playing it out. So it allows them for expression, it allows them to work through their ideas and to really understand what's going on and develop that further understanding of what death means and how their life is going to change.
Absolutely. Play is very important to children. That is how, once again, they make sense of the world. And that is how sometimes they can articulate through play their experiences and their sense of death. A little tidbit or a little piece of information. In 1978, Dr. Myra Lubon-Langer wrote a book called The Private World of Dying Children. And this was set in a hospital, cancer hospital, I believe in Philadelphia. And she followed the children. Now these were the children who were diagnosed with cancer and in the hospital. And at that time, she realized that nobody was telling the children exactly that they were dying. But what she found in her research was that the children, through play and death play, they figured out that they were dying and then that they had cancer. Many times she would walk into a room and then a child would have a Kleenex box and she would find them, burying toys. And then through conversation, that is how they learned about death. So I think it's very important to recognize that death play is it's an important piece of how children react to death, and not to be scared or not to be, I'm going to say, freaked out that the children are doing this death play, because that's how they are making sense of death.
Absolutely. And as Anne-Marie said, occasionally parents or other caregivers are very freaked out, or they might find that it's inappropriate for children to be playing this way. But it is just so essential to their comprehension of death, and it's normal, it's natural, and it's beautiful that they have just the freedom to be able to play it out.
Absolutely. I'm going to talk a little bit about trauma in children. I'm going to be very quick about this. Trauma reaction is different from grief. To put it in very simple terms, grief is sadness. The child is extremely sad, whereas if a child does experience trauma due to the death, trauma can be equated to terror. It's also important to remember that trauma is individual, and it also is individual as to how the death is perceived by the individual or perceived by the child. One child may have a similar experience with death and may not have a traumatic experience. The following reactions may be cause for concern and may be in need of professional support. If the child has ongoing sleeping troubles, either not being able to fall asleep or sleeping too much. If the child is easily startled by sounds, sights, or smells that are similar to those they have experienced at the time of death. Hypervigilance, regressive behavior, such as a child who perhaps was toilet trained and then regresses after the death. If they experience a loss of interest in daily activities, extended periods, withdrawing from activities, friends, interest. Also, if they experience repetitive talking about wanting to be with the deceased. A sharp decline in school or withdrawal, refusal to go to school, or pessimistic worldview or loss of passion or life, maybe some things that could concern an adult and may be more in need of professional support.
Right.
Yeah.
And it is so difficult for a parent or a caregiver
Yes.
to navigate this and navigate what is normal grief behavior, what could be traumatic behavior, how long is too long for a child to be experiencing certain behaviors or feelings. And definitely trust yourself as a parent and reach out for professional support if you are feeling that this is beyond you and beyond how you're able to support your child. So while at BON we do offer our Kids Circle bereavement program for children, our 8-week sessions, we also do recognize during our assessments that
Yes.
there are needs far beyond what a peer support program can offer. So we are happy to assist in making those referrals as well to professional support. So for more information, please contact us by phone or email, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for our entire Children's Grief and Mourning series, as well as all of our other morning chat videos. Take care.
Thank you.